Good morning. How are ya? Hope everybody's got their cup of coffee. Good stuff. Welcome to Big Dog Forge. I hope everyone is doing well. Make sure I'm all situated here. Got everything I need. Excuse me while I check the stream. Make sure everything's going all right. Looks good. All right. Oh, let me see. Well, good morning. How are you? I am having a hard time seeing that text this morning. I'm going to move the screen around a little bit, get some of the glare off it. Good morning, Ben. 6 firefighting, that's what it is, I believe. Ben Toombs, Rusty up. Yeah, morning, Alan. How are you? Good to see you guys. Hope all is well. I think I have something in the way here. We're going to adjust some cameras and stuff. I got a little bit of a weird start this morning, so we're going to get that past that. There we go. That's a little bit better. You guys get to see my mess in the background there, the 3D printers. I don't care. We're busy working those out. Trying to get some stuff done. Hope everybody had a great week this week. I'm going to move some more stuff around here. I guess I was a little unprepared. I was messing with the dogs. And getting them some food and letting them out, that kind of stuff. Gregory, good morning. How are you? Get your glasses, man. My dad used to do this poem, and I don't remember all of it, but a lot of it had to do with I wake up in the morning and I dust off my wits. I pick up the paper and read the obits, and when I see my name isn't there, I put in my teeth and put on my hair. I don't remember the whole thing, but it was a pretty funny little thing. We're getting this flag again. All right, so you guys tell me if you see any ads this morning, because we've got all of the ad stuff turned off. This is totally a demonetized situation, so if they're running ads on me, I need to know, because they said they wouldn't if I set it up this way. Demags, how you doing this morning? Good. Oh man, Sunday morning. Looking forward to another fantastic week this week. I don't know if any of you, well, I do know a couple of you did, because I saw you in there, but caught Roy from Christ Center Ironworks, him and Jess. They had a live stream. They were doing some of their Christmas ornament stuff, which was pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. I dig it. All right. Oh, let's see. Do I have that book? I was going to show you guys a book, but it's over there somewhere. I have to go get it in a minute. I'm going to do and this is going to be next week. I'll get it all set up and I'll let you guys know about it. We're going to be doing a little bit of a giveaway of a blacksmith book that I've had for ages, and diminishing the library, bringing it down, minimizing stuff, just to make more room, get more space, and it's stuff that somebody could benefit from, have some fun with. So we're going to do that. We can give some stuff away here in the near future. I don't see him in here yet, but we've got Joshy Poo and Drayson. I got some stuff that I'll be sending them as well in some collaborations. So that'll be fun. I can't wait to collaborate with Josh. Anyway, so let's see. Some coffee. Yeah, you can tell I'm a little bit scattered this morning and I'm all over the place. I have had a bit of a time with the dogs this morning. And, let's see. Checking a message from, I think it was from Durayson. JT, where are you? I do not see it. Huh. Anyway, if he shows up this morning, we'll let him know what's going on. Anyway, who did I miss while I was looking down there? I was watching a video. I do not see you in here. Where are you? Yes, more coffee. Gregory, how you doing? Always need more coffee. Trail Dust, good morning. How are you? Good to see you this fine Sunday morning. Oh my goodness, we are running a little bit behind. I want to let you guys know this. My intent was to be able to put a video out a week, but we've had a little bit of a cross communication here and there, and we've got a couple of videos coming out, but they're going to be a couple more days at least. Between shooting B-roll stuff and editing and all that kind of stuff, we just have some catching up to do. There's a lot that goes into this. It's crazy stuff. I threw it and it stuck. Is that your coffee? So much fun. So much fun. Oh my goodness. So let's see what's happening. I'll give you guys a little rundown of what's happening in the shop. I'm getting things cleaned up. You can't tell by this mess over here, but that's okay. It's getting better. I got sidetracked a little bit. My wife got a call or a message from a relative, and she wanted some 3D printed statues, and so I had to make a model of that, and then been scanning and printing those things. I did not make a video out of that. It would have made a great video, but the statues are probably not something that you would put on YouTube. I don't know, but I want to take that chance. I want to demonetize the things that I want to demonetize, if you know what I mean, right? But yeah, so they're probably all right, but I have no idea. Josh, good morning. How are you? I was just talking about you. It was all good stuff, I promise. All good stuff. Saw you out on Forge. How's it going this morning, Joe? Good. Nice. And let's see, we got a project going with a CNC machine. Just finished up. That's in editing. Got another project going with the CNC machine, and going to start putting together probably a 2 or 3 part video on somebody had talked about it a couple of weeks ago about putting raw iron in Damascus, and that's something that's coming up. And I was going to mention to Joshy Poo now that he's here, I have a billet for the collaboration. I need to get that into the mail. I think Drayson, JT, I think he sent me his address. I'm not sure if you had sent me yours or not. I think you did. But anyway, I need a place to send a billet to. And the question is, what size and shape do you want this billet? Because currently it's about 3/8 thick and about 6 6 or 7, maybe 8 inches long, something like that. And I can flatten it out, make it wider, thinner, whatever you like, if you let me know that. Or if you want to do that yourself, I don't know. I do not know, Sam, I am. So let me know. You did send it. Where, are you sending it to Instagram? Because I was just looking on Instagram. I couldn't find a message from you. But anyway, yeah, send it to me again and let me know by what medium you are sending it to me, because I've checked my email for bigdogforging@gmail.com and I have not seen it there. So I'm probably missing something. I don't think this has anything to do with you. Jason McPherson, good morning. How are you this morning? Can forge it out from there. That's right. Cool. Sure. That would be super cool. Awesome. I will get it in the mail to you. And I've got, well, I don't see JT here. He was asking for whatever else I had that might work for him. And I've got 2 billets that I'm going to send to him. Thanks, Josh. I appreciate that. Let me know. Like I said, it's not that big a deal. I check the messages right after this, and then I check them throughout the week. So we are on track to get all that done. It's taken a few days, but lots going on. I forgot how much there was into this this YouTubing thing. Holy moly, there's a lot of work in this. Island Metal Fort Yamez, you are hanging out this morning, buddy. Good to see you. Good to see you, sir. Good to see ya. Coffee time. It is coffee time. I have mine right here. Thanks for reminding me. Yum. There's few things on the planet that are as good as that. And the list is becoming shorter and shorter the older I get. Coffee has remained the same throughout the years. It's a trusty friend. Thanks, Josh. It shouldn't be long though, buddy. This has actually been good for me because it's given me more purpose in my retirement. Now, you're always looking for, when you're working, deadlines are just a bitch. But when you're retired, having goals and deadlines and stuff can be a good motivator to get you up off your butt and get you moving sometimes. And it's a good thing. It's actually a good thing. But yeah, one can only move as fast as one can move. Nice. It's like we got close to 20 folks in this morning. Looking for a couple more. Pass some messages along too. How you doing this morning, Yamez? Well, I guess it's probably, is it morning for you? It's probably 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, something. I don't know how many hours are difference between you and I. I think it's 3, maybe. I don't know. That, you know what, Josh? That's great. That's fine. I actually am going to be putting a video together that's going to have something to do with this. It'll all be a surprise for you guys, so be ready. It's all about having fun at this point. Yes, it's 9 o'clock. And you're awake already? What happened? I'm kidding with you, man. Just a joke. Oh, don't want to offend. I've seen, haven't seen Adam. I think Adam might have been in here once since we started up. But Alexi's been in here just about every week saying hi. And saw the, oh, okay. Drinking coffee and working. Saw the pop up. Oh, cool. Well, thanks for dropping by. Really appreciate it, Yanis. That's pretty cool. So I'm tempted to go grab that book, but I'm not going to do that because I'm too involved in this. And my numbers down here are telling me that everything is working really well. Does the sound okay for you guys? Been trying to adjust the sound on this stuff to make it the best I can. but it's a work in progress. Let me see. And only 6 likes. Come on, people. Hit that like button. Thumbs up. Thank you, Soggy Bottom. I appreciate you reminding everybody. If you're so inclined to hit the like button, it does help. Oh, my goodness. I'm feeling old and crunchy this morning. So, I was watching a young man on YouTube. I've subscribed to him. Found him recently. He's been doing this for a few months, but he calls himself the beginner blacksmith. And he took a big washer and dished it out, put a little scroll in the middle of this big washer, and he hammered it out, did a nice little video on that. And if he's out there, if he's watching, if he sees this, good job. He made a little marker for his disc golf game. When the disc doesn't hit the hole and you got to mark it with a mini, you drop it. And it was a really cool disc golf mini that he made. And I was very impressed by that. And he's only been forging for a few months, so I wanted to shout out to that young individual. Good job. Big thumbs up. I am my old eyeballs. I can't see stuff halfway straight half the time. So anyway, that's a good morning. It was for adults. I never grew up. I never tried. Oh, well, yeah, you know. A little bit of that in all of us. That's funny. Oh, my goodness. Oh, where are we? I had to step away for a moment to refresh my coffee. You know what? You people are my kind of crowd. What brand of 3D printer is that in the background? There are... It depends on which one you're looking at. If you're looking at that thing right there, that used to be an old Ender 3, and I turned that into a belt printer. It currently has a bag of Doritos sitting on it that are not mine, by the way. But yeah, that's a belt printer that was created out of a Ender 3. Down below it, there's a CR10. There's a CR10 V3 right next to it. There's a Scar arm printer. There's a Delta printer over there. There's a Core XY out in the shop. They're all over the place. Yeah, but that was a little belt printer right there. And down, I do have a Bamboo over there, A1. And you can see it's on the floor right behind me, behind the hand that's waving around. I can't even point to it. It's down there. There. Anyway, it's it's one of those multi-color printer, or whatever you call it, things. Can't think of the name right now. Oh my goodness. Thanks for hitting the like button, Gregory. I appreciate that. Anyway, yeah, I got 3D printers all over the place. As a matter of fact, I have had access to a bunch of Ender 3 printers that are broken, busted, falling apart. Some of them I bought online, whatever. And I disassembled a whole bunch of them and made piles of parts and decided to start building 3D printers from scratch just for something to do, basically, while I was away from YouTube. And so I built a bunch of them, and I actually shot footage of putting the Core XY together. So that's going to be a video in itself that'll be coming out sometime soon, hopefully. We'll see how quick that comes out. You still have a couple of things to do to it. I've actually had it up and running and printed things with it, but I want to improve it before I call it good. Brian Morris, good morning. How are you? enjoying some fresh homemade bacon, cheddar, sourdough bread with my coffee this morning. You lucky dog. Holy moly. Some guys have all the luck. Must be nice to be the king. Yes, I am printing Doritos now. They taste better in PETG than they do in PLA. I gotta be honest. And you gotta get the right color. If it's too red, they're very spicy. Still warm, come get some. I think I'd have to fly across the country. You're in Georgia somewhere, aren't you? First printer was a Ender 3, upgraded to a Bamboo Labs. A1S, nice. AMS, that's what it's called. I couldn't think of the AMS thing. Yeah, nice printer. Those are really nice printers. But like I said, I've got the A1 and it does a majority of the fine stuff that I want to do. And the rest of these guys just kind of print. So I use my 3D printer, or all of my 3D printers. And I did up until I left the union. Well, I'm still in the union, but left my job to retire. And I used them to 3D print a bunch of parts for the job sites I was on, because when you're installing like doors, frames, hardware, that kind of stuff, you need shims and spacers and all this stuff for all those different types of hardware, from overhead stuff to locks, all sorts of things, right? And I would custom make these shims out of ABS or PTG, whatever, and I would just have the custom parts to take to work with me the next day to continue the job on. And it was something I think my boss got used to a little bit. Because it was just fix the problem, make it go away. And it was really super simple. It was easy. It was part of my toolkit, basically, for my carpentry gig that I did for so long. Smash the like button, coffee. I'm like, where's my tardy slip? You don't need a tardy slip. You get a free pass today, Grayson. I was talking to Joshy Poo here a couple of minutes ago about sending him his billet. So we're doing a little collaboration on. I have 2 for you, and I'll be sending them out to you. I think you sent me your address, and I think you did that on Instagram. So give me the thumbs up or let me know that you did that. And sometime tomorrow or the next day, we will get a couple of those in the mail to you. And one of them you should be able to work, whichever one you need to do whatever you need to do with. They should work for you, hopefully. Tim eats dinosaurs. I do. Nice. Send a collab later after you. Nice. Are you going to put the knife inside the loaf? Kind of like putting a file in a cake in prison kind of thing? So I traded in blacksmithing for 3D printing. No, kind of. But actually I've combined the two. I've done a couple of 3D printed Damascus things. I just put a video out on one recently, and it works out pretty well. You just have to. I did a serpent in a sax, and my serpent got a little bit lumpy because of the way I forged it, but it was all an experiment anyway. But yeah. Ben Toombs, my kids need to eat. Well, maybe Josh will send you a loaf of bread. I don't know. You guys are funny. Yeah. Thanks, Gregory. That thing saved me a whole bunch of times. I printed all sorts of stuff. Yeah. Not to get too deep into it, we had a job at SeaTac Airport, and they had some very funky hinges that needed to match a very funky door frame, and they didn't match, and I ended up printing these shims that went behind them to make them attach to some adapter plates. You couldn't see the prints, but it worked out perfectly. And my boss came through and raised an eyebrow. How'd you do that? I mean, it's magic. It's just pure magic. Don't worry about it. And those are still standing today. Nice. If you get a 3D printer, yeah, man, get something that's just going to work out of the box for you. Probably a Bamboo A1 or an A1 Mini, start with, and it'll make life a whole bunch easier for you. A lot of the other ones are catching up currently, but they're just not the print quality of the Bamboos quite yet. But it'll all even out eventually. They just hit the sweet spot first. Don't worry about it, Drayson. This one's on the house, buddy. This one is on the house. This is Damascus that has been sitting around forever, and someone will be able to put it to use. If you don't take it, it probably would have ended up in the trash. Yeah, I saw Alex. He did a couple of different 3D printed things, but he did a picture of his dog. It came out really nice. He did a really, really good job. But to get that contrast down, he had to go to I think it was an 8% nickel in his steel rather than a 4%. And he finally got the contrast he wanted for that picture of his dog he did, which was really, really good. Really cool. 5 loaves. Oh my goodness. Cheddar, cinnamon, jalapeno cheddar, dill pickle, and plain. Oh, I love dill pickle. That is so good. My goodness. I'm thinking of that song, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, I believe, from way back in the day. Oh, what a lucky man he was. That's you, Josh. You're the lucky man. Under 6 is fiddly. A little fiddly, yeah. That ain't blind. Yeah. Right on. Plus a carrot cake, pumpkin cheese cake, combo with caramel syrup. Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm already a portly young man, you might say, but I would be a blimp kind of. I can't resist that kind of stuff. I gotta be honest with you. Making me hungry just thinking about it. I already ate breakfast too. Excuse me while I slurp my coffee in your ear. It sounds like 3D printers will be more common than that. A toaster soon. Yeah, I think they're probably more people have 3D printers than they do toasters nowadays. I don't know. It's pretty funny stuff. Yeah, I got so not to go into a history thing, but some time ago I was off work for a while taking care of a family member, and while I was off for a couple of months, I really had nothing to do, and I ended up with all these 3D printers. Some of them I just bought offline, and some of them I just had parts and pieces for. And so I started searching the interwebs, YouTube, that kind of thing, about building 3D printers from scratch, programming that stuff. And I dove into that for a couple of months. And like I said, I ended up building probably 4 or 5 printers. You can't see it, but right back there in the corner, there's a Delta printer that was built out of a bunch of old Enders. And then you can barely see the corner of, let's see, that one right there. That's a CR30 by Creality hanging on the wall. It's another belt printer. And that one I didn't build, but I built like 3 or 4 others, and had a good time doing it. A lot of fun learning how to program these things to do different stuff. So yeah, that Delta printer, totally from scratch. I bought parts of the head from Philson, I believe. But yeah, it's not going to replace the blacksmithing. It's just going to go hand in hand with it. There's a lot of stuff out there in the world now that we're kind of advancing in technologies, and blacksmithing will always be around because there's just something about it that people need, which is great. But there's a way to incorporate newer technologies into that. So it's all good. It's all part of the thing, creating stuff, putting things together. There's a reason you've been going to the gym, huh, Josh? Yeah, I'm telling you. Mine's 20 years old, so it's not that fine scale. Yeah, the older ones, you got to really keep them tuned in, you might say. A lot of work in those things. You do as much tinkering as you do printing with the older ones, which is, for me, that's fine. I enjoy the tinkering. Some people don't. Going to try to build a printer out of popsicle sticks. You know what? That sounds like something that we would try to do around here just because it would be fun. And crazy and near impossible to do, but holy moly, let's try it anyway. If you can. So if you make a printer out of popsicle sticks, can you use it to print popsicle sticks? That would be interesting. Be the hype man. Old Wolf, good morning. How are you? It's good to see you, man. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so good morning, Greg. How are you? It's good to see you here this morning. Yeah, Josh, I'm down for anything that pays well. You know what? And this is something that when you're you guys were talking about something else, but this is something that's been crossing my mind a lot lately. It's like when you're retired and you're on a fixed income, it's like you pay more attention to the things that are going to bring you money than the things that take money to do. So it's like all this stuff that I've got in my shop that I've been playing with for years, it's time to put it to work doing something. So I'm probably going to start building stuff, and you guys will see some videos of that kind of thing. You know what I mean? BC, good morning, Bill Corey. How are you? Good to see you here this morning. Thanks for dropping by. Do appreciate it. Yes, you can print wood. I've got some wood encrusted filament over here that I bought to make a thing with. It's kind of weird. It's got sawdust or something in it. I don't know. Richard Wright, good morning. How are you? Popsicle sticks. That's funny. As a full-time smith, I do a lot more side hustle. Yep. Got to do what you got to do to bring the dollar bills in, pay the bills, take care of the family. Sounds like AI. It does, doesn't it? Holy. Forged a lawnmower blade out of a garage door spring. That's kind of like the video I saw, I don't know, probably a month ago. Guy took some high carbon steel and forged a railroad spike out of it. So it's like, why not? Greg Campbell. It's good to see you, man. Been lurking. Finish up weekly reports and time cards. Got a little contracting. Yeah. That was, you know what? That's it's a position that I have been in. And I got to be honest with you, I'd much rather be just the guy who sweeps the floor than the guy who has to take care of everybody else. But someone's got to do it. Jim Uncle, how you doing this morning? Good to see you from Ohio. I'm doing good, Richard. Mr. Jack Pines, good morning. How are you? I'm going to read some of this stuff and get caught up. I'm up here and I need to go down there. Still tattooing on the side, of course. You know what? You got the talent, man. Use it. Thinking of emulating him and doing a chat stream while working on my sister's stand. Some more finality, join me or not, as you see fit. Well, send a link. Let us know where you're at, what you're doing. Let me know what's happening. I think you used to live stream after the Sunday morning show back in the day, didn't you? Or do you still? Or I don't know. Fill us in. Send us a link. I will join if I can. I would love to. Grail Dust, have a couple of rings to cast this morning. This will be from old-fashioned wax rather than printed models. Lost wax casting. Easy to say, huh? I bought, and I know for some reason I keep going back to 3D printing this morning, but I bought a roll of filament that is supposed to be, I haven't tried it out, it's been sitting in the package for 6 months, that is supposed to be for burnout specifically, from plaster molds for, well, I guess lost filament casting. I've never tried it, but I think I might see how it goes. But I've done some lost wax stuff and it works really well. I don't know how this will work. It might be a waste of time. Who knows? Dustin Jarvis. Yes. Has anyone used old cast iron window weights ground up to mix with flux? Yes. Yes, I have. But what I've done is I have not ground them up, because you grind them, it burns up a lot of the carbon. I've taken them and drilled multiple holes in them. And if you cut it a long way down the middle of the lay flat on the drill press, you drill a whole bunch of holes and you save those drill shavings, put a magnet close to it. It'll collect all those up. And then you get them onto a hard piece of stainless. I put them on a piece of stainless so they wouldn't mix with anything else. And smash them all up with a hammer, powdered them. And you can get it into a pretty fine powder and mix it with flux. And you've pretty much gotten that, I can't remember the name of it. Misty Mountain Forge Flux, whatever that stuff is. It's the same thing. The higher carbon content in the cast iron gives it a little bit lower melting temperature, and it acts sort of like a solder flux almost, because it melts a little quicker, transfers that heat into the steel, and it gives you a really good weld. Iron Mountain Flux, that's what it is. Life getting away by fun. I'll be here on my channel. Yeah, nice. Excellent. Yeah, and I knew that you were streaming on Sundays. My sister would have you on in her shop. She owns a vape shop, and she would have you on the big screen in her shop when I'd go in there after I did my stream on Sundays. And you'd be streaming there once in a while. But that was about the time I was leaving this. So I never really caught up with that. So, yeah, we'll check you out. This will be working on the 3D model. I'll be sending to my sis to test what it. Oh, nice. You know what? That's a really good way of doing stuff. I've modeled lots of 3D printed stuff to see if it's going to work out in a machine in metal before I've actually built it, see if it'll fit, kind of how it works. Got to do dad stuff. You have a wonderful day. Check out the address 10. Will do, Josh. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you being here, man. It all matters. It really, really does. More than you know, my friend. I will be in touch soon. Thank you. Filament doesn't like air. Seal it up good. Interesting. I did not know that. That might have to be a video of some sort. Casting with printed resin requires vacuum flask to get the ash out. Interesting. This might be a more interesting test than I thought it might be. Guy was casting copper using a burned out 3D printed model. I'm going to have to check that out. Like I said, I've had this roll of filament. I don't even know what it's called anymore. But it's supposed to print like PLA. But it's supposed to burn out really easily. I'm going to have to check it out. I think I saw a video of somebody using it. And I'm like, hey, I'll try that someday. So I ordered it. It's still sitting on the shelf behind me. I've got that shelf where you can see, let's see, all of these 3D printers. Up on top of that, there's 100 rolls of filament that I keep buying and never using. And it's in there somewhere. I'll have to figure that out. It's just borax with steel powder in it. Yeah, my experience has been it's got a little higher carbon content. That's why I use the cast iron when I do that, and it works out really, really well. But yeah, for me it just works. It little lower melting temperature for the steel and the flux, but yeah, no, that's the same basic idea. It works. It just works. Filament gets brittle with air. Is that after you print it or after you open up the bag, or yeah, so yeah, you guys are definitely going to see some 3D printed content coming up soon. I keep talking about it, and until we can get past a couple of other glitches with videos that we're putting out right now, I can't get to it. But I've got a knife we're going to do some 3D printed handles for, and some other stuff. And the CNC machine is up and running. We've got a video going on that. And it's just a wood router CNC machine that I used to have at the place where I worked. And that company sold itself to another company. And I worked for them for a while. And then I said no, because the CNC machine that I built for that company to specifically do large projects, it was a 5-foot wide by 11-foot long machine. They were going to throw it away, and it's a perfectly good machine, and I said I will take it. So I ended up cutting it apart to get it to move because it was huge, and when I put it back together I cut it in half to put it in my shop. So I've got that machine here, and we'll be doing some iron and wood products combined. Do some videos on that, and that should be fun. It should be lots of fun, actually. Coffee. I look forward to the woodworking aspect of all of that, along with a little bit of forging, and it should make for some pretty good content. I hope. And then of course we've got the other shop that's out in the back 40 that's got all of the casting stuff in it. That's why we built the Muller. So we'll be doing some casting stuff along with the blacksmithing stuff, along with the woodworking stuff, along with the 3D printing stuff. So we're kind of turning into a Big Dog Forge and other stuff. Need to come up with a new name for the channel, guys. What are we going to call it? Just leave it Big Dog Forge? Or do we call it Big Dog Forge makes other crap? Oh. $170-degree dew point. How much cast do I mix with the borax? What's the ratio? I do 75 borax, 25 cast iron. But yeah, you might want to, test your mix. And I actually started doing that. I did it a few times before the video, but I started doing, I don't know how many of you guys have seen the videos, but I did a series called The Dirty Damascus. And in and amongst that, Green Beetle, who's another knife maker, I'm sure you guys have heard of him, on YouTube, sent me a document. What is that document? That document was transaction volume from, give me a half second, from I can't see the date. It was like, 1824. Did I lose you guys? I don't know if I lost you guys or not. Hopefully we're back. Are we back? Are we back? Still here. Okay, good. I thought we went away. Yeah, anyway, to carry on what I was saying, Green Beetle sent me a document on Google Docs from it was June of 1824, sea captain going to India, described in great detail how the East Indian folks were making Damascus. They were making faux Damascus for gun barrels in Britain, and how they had done that. And in and amongst that, they talked about cast iron powder mixed with borax, and what that was doing, how they did that, blah, blah, blah. And I really started using it after that because I had a lot of opportunity to play with it. So, yeah, it was good stuff. Thanks, Gregory. It's been in the bag sealed up since I got it. I'm a little ways back in the chat here, so I'm working my way down. There we go. Will you be doing a video explaining the molasses sand? Yes, I will. And it is pretty interesting to me, only because the cultural differences that kind of drove that, but also the way the sand reacts. I have been casting with green sand and Petrobond type sand forever, and I started this as a curiosity, and I probably won't go back to green sand or to Petrobond. This is it's so easy, and it works so well. The surface is a little bit different. It's not that super fine surface, but everything that I do is it's all utilitarian anyway. And even if it is a sort of a finery or a nice piece, you can get a good enough surface out of it that it works just great. Yeah, the good thing about the cast iron and using it is a lot of that carbon when you're welding will burn out of it anyway. It's on the surface, close to the surface, so it mixes with that oxygen molecule in the forge and it kind of burns off a little bit. So if you're using just regular steel, you're losing a little bit of that carbon anyway, and you get a lower carbon content. But it helps that heat up quickly, and like I said, it fluxes that steel and starts that melting process on the surface a lot quicker. It just, I don't know. It's good stuff. I like it. Dustin Jarvis, I see you. Yeah. I went to another thing, another tab, and it looked like YouTube had shut down completely. So I'm glad that everything worked out there. We all came back. Been lost for decades. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there is quite a lag, and I've been trying to figure that out. They've got a thing where you can set the lag up if you want like a delayed, in case you want to, I don't know, edit chat or whatever. But mine is at 0, and I don't really know why. So we've got OBS over there, OBS, and I've got YouTube over there on another screen. I've got chat right here, and all three of them are at a different speed. So getting this to, it's weird. It's it's just bizarre. So I have to kind of ignore everything and go with the chat and just kind of try to stay in the middle of that. See the beard. Nice. Richard Bryant, is cast iron, say, a knife brittle, or will it make a knife by itself? Yeah, you could probably cast a knife out of cast iron, but it would be extremely brittle. It would have no plasticity to it at all, no malleability. Um, but, but there are instances, and it came from the document I referred to earlier, 1824, where these individuals would take mild steel barrel bands that were coming off the barrels that were coming from England. They would get shipments in and take shipments out, but they would save the barrel bands off bad and old barrels, cut them into sections, and to bring up the carbon content, they would take pig iron, cast iron, and they would grind it, put it with their flux between layers of barrel bands, forge that together, and the carbon would migrate into the thin layers of barrel bands. It would give them a contrast, so they'd end up with a pattern welded looking steel like Damascus, but the carbon content would come up. So it was better steel for wrapping around these shotgun barrels that they sent off to England to do there. But yeah, so dissipating that carbon into a softer metal around it is a good way to even that out and give it a little bit of elasticity. But yeah, it's the cast iron. I'm not going to get into all the metallurgy crap, but anytime you cast a metal, it ends up with a dendritic or dendrites in it, which are a sort of a crystalline type structure, you might call it. And those dendrites will transfer or translate into a rolled steel or a mild steel if they're forged together. But they dissipate, they're separated. So it's the easiest way to say it is, yes, that carbon dissipates into the softer steel and you end up with a more evenly balanced between the two. It'll migrate. Well, there's a variety of thought on this, but some metallurgists out there can probably tell you. But I believe it'll migrate almost a millimeter into the surface of a more mild steel, depending on the heat, the pressure, the time, blah, blah, blah. There's a whole lot that goes into it. But yeah, there you go. Long answer for a short question. How do you like that? I talk too much. No ads yet. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm really glad that that's working out. Like I said, it took some time. I went through all the settings. I went through all of their crap over at YouTube University to make sure it's all good. So you guys shouldn't be seeing any ads on this at all, hopefully. You're very welcome, Richard. I tend to ramble on about things, and I don't really know. In my head, I'm thinking about it. Which way should I take this? How much do people really want to hear about this goofy crap I've got in my head? So, thanks for letting me ramble on a little bit. I appreciate it. You guys are way too nice to an old guy. Oh my goodness. Oh, but then again, I've been thinking about, and I'm not really sure about this, but I've been thinking about. I have another channel, this channel, and on my other channel, I've got a friend of mine who suggested this, old guy as well, but back in the day, I don't know if you guys will remember, Ulf Peterson used to be a big fan of the channel. He used to be a gamer online, and he had his own little channel, and he played games. I might become a gamer on my other channel in my spare time. Just play games and stuff. And people out there call them golden gamers or silver gamers, depending on, I guess, how good you are. I don't know, but they're old people playing video games. And I was thinking maybe I could play Pong. Some old Atari games. Something like that. Last video game I played was Warcraft, probably 25 years ago. I don't really have time for that, but you know what I'm saying? It would just add to the fun, the adventure, you might say. Da-da-da-da. Yeah, it's so Woot Steel is about the dendrites I was talking about. They those structures form in pretty much any cast metal that is cast, and then once it's forged out, those translate, and they give you different patterns because the two steels are, the dendrites are separated from a little more mild steel, and that's what gives you those weird patterns in that Damascus. And this is what the scientists have been trying to uncover for years and years. What materials did they actually use that created those particular structures? And the debate rages on. I call everything Damascus. It's just different kinds, whether it's pattern welded or crucible steel. But yeah, it's the same kind of thing, but it's just the casting of the ingot to make the Woot steel is what causes those dendrites to form in those patterns, rather than layering two different steels together, which is sort of emulating that. But yeah. Gregory, that's okay, Tim. Just ramble. That's fine. You're very kind. Suspect some of us are old guys too. I would imagine that most of us in here, I wouldn't say everybody, don't want to offend anybody, but I would say that most of us are probably over 50. And I'm closer to 70 than I am to 60. So, Curtis, good morning. Just stopping by. I wanted to comment you on your channel. Some of my favorite builds on YouTube. Thank you. I appreciate that. That is really something. That's the kind of thing that keeps me going. Makes me want to do more. God, I really do appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Much appreciated. Jason, yes. You know what? I have to agree. They are filled with awesome people. And you guys make for some great chat. This is really your thing. This is not my thing. I show up to yammer at a camera, and you guys are the ones who make the difference. I would not have a reason to be here if it weren't for the awesome people that show up, and I do appreciate it. Looks like we've had 92 viewers so far this morning. Currently, we have 17 on board. And that's a good thing about this. You can come and go. You can eat breakfast. You can stop by. You can chat for a while. You can lurk for a while and move on, which is awesome. And that's what this is about. It's about you guys. It's not about me. But it's about trying to answer some questions and get some of that information out there that people are looking for. And that's why we do this. That's why I want to do this. And I'll keep doing this even if all you guys decide that I'm nutso and I've, gone sideways somewhere. Too late. No, you're old. Yep, you're right, Ben. Yes, Gregory, concrete does. A lot of the carpenters that I worked with started in concrete and doing concrete forms, blah, 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 and moved into my area of carpentry simply because their backs wore out, their legs wore out. It is a hard life, concrete. You got to be a special person sticking with that. It is silver precious metal. You're right, Grayson. You are absolutely right. JT, I just love that. 50 years. Yeah, see, I'm telling you. Picks on us with tech. Something I've been doing since the 80s. Yeah. I think I built my first computer back in, oh God, I don't know. Had to have been maybe 89, probably. Something like that. 49, take that. All right, youngster. 57. Yeah. Jammed uncle. You know what, Jim? My wife says the same thing. But it's like one of those things. You want to give the information you have, hoping to pass it along to someone, hoping that they'll get some use out of it. And if you miss something that might be useful to them, then, you got to give it. Yeah. I get the elbow. You talked for a little too long there. Jack Pines, 57. Nice. Richard, I have not seen particularly anybody forge cast iron with regular steel for some. I've not seen that happen. Yeah, it might be possible. I would have to really think about that. Here's the reason. I put out a video some time ago about somebody asked me, can you make canister Damascus without a welder? And they said, can you go to the store, get some black pipe and some caps put on it with your powder in there and just forge it out? Well, you can't, because the caps are made from cast iron. The company that makes them, typically the larger companies call them like malleable iron, something like that. But once it gets up to a certain temperature, that stuff just disintegrates. So if you have it in powdered form between the layers, it'll melt into those layers. But a solid piece of cast iron between layers of sheet metal, I would think would be too much. You wouldn't be able to dissipate the carbon well enough, and it would end up burning up before you could weld it into the other steel. But I'm curious about that. If you got a thin enough piece of cast iron, you might be able to do that. Gregory, I'm kind of using him. I also fix all the crap equipment around the shop. Yeah. In my senior years at work, let's call it that, my more senior years at work, I did a lot of that stuff because it's what happens. You get to learn everything, you get to know everything, you know everything about everything, and it's a whole lot easier than setting concrete forms, so you go fix stuff. That's funny. Yes, cast iron does have more than 1% carbon in it, and it's subject to disintegration. Anyway, if you go watch that video that I did about not needing a welder, I actually put some joints and caps and stuff on the end of black pipe, heated it up, and you can see what happens when you hit it with a hammer. It pretty much just disintegrates, but that video really depicts that really well. Context is king, but a lot of folks disagree. Yes, this is true. Your wife says you don't talk it up. She doesn't want to talk about anything interesting. Yeah. So, I don't know if you guys have experienced this. I have. Go to work all day long talking to everybody around me about what they need to do. You know, what are we going to do with this set of plans? How are we going to transfer this equipment? What equipment do we need for tomorrow? Blah, blah, blah. By the time you get done talking to 50 guys constantly all day long, you use up all your words. All my words are gone. I get home at night, I don't want to say 2 more words. And you get the question, are you okay? I'm fine. And you just don't want to talk. And then they tell you at that point, you'll talk to everybody else, but you won't talk to me. You know, I'm not bashing anybody, but it's just one of those loops that you get caught in. So you're either not talking enough or you're talking too much. JT, gotta get ready for church. You guys all stay safe and blessed. See you next Sunday. See ya. Take care. Mr. Grayson Forge. JT, you be safe, my friend, and take care of yourself in your travels. We'll see you here next week. Thank you for stopping by, and thanks for all your input. I appreciate it, my friend. Yeah, I'll look back and see if I remember it right. Okay. Oh, guys, it looks like we're about 10 minutes over, and it looks like we probably need to get out of here. Folks need to get on with their day and take care of their stuff, and we will be talking to you guys soon. Josh, I'll be sending your thing out, you too, Grayson, and we'll see you guys next time around. And hopefully we'll have some more to talk about in the way of videos. So I'm looking again. I put it in a special place. This button over here that turns all of this off. All right, guys. Take care. We'll see you soon.